As a disclaimer, some of our episodes discuss topics that may not be fit for a younger audience. Some episodes also contain some swearing. This show was produced by the Geek Happy Network, creators of the very best in audible Oracle entertainment. If you enjoy listening to Represented, remember to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast app. We'd love to hear your thoughts. I didn't see none of that, man. You didn't bust one move, dude. I'm disappointed now. I wish you liked it. Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Represented podcast. I'm your host Nyx, and hello to our viewers out there who may be watching this on video. Today is a special episode for numerous reasons, and one of those reasons I discussed in the last episode when I spoke to Mawende. Shout out to Mawende and Tish, who visited last weekend. Today's a special episode because I have my brother Lucid in the building.
How you doing? What's up, everyone?
Yeah. Lucid was on an earlier episode. Was our first episode.
Yeah, it was the first
our
one.
very first episode of this podcast. You are our guest, and we were kind of discussing like just your journey in music and art and expressing yourself and just like your own personal development and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And not too long ago, we watched you like actually do what it is we talked about, which was like perform your art and like actually be an artist and like do your thing on stage, which was amazing to see.
Thank you.
And like we all came out to support you, and I know you saw us out with like everyone else out there. Shout out to Linda, Noni, Adam, the whole Kenyan squad that came out to support, and like it was dope just seeing you do your thing. How did it feel for you? Like what was that feeling like? Was this your first performance here?
Yeah, that was my first performance. On like with the mic, singing and everything. That was the first one ever.
What was the one before?
First, Swale Tuesdays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, but here this was your first.
Yeah, it's the first one
in Vancouver. Yeah. Dope.
Yeah, and it felt. It was. I was thinking about this like after.
Mm-hmm.
I'd wished I'd cherished it more, because like when you're up there, it's just like
goes quick.
Yeah, you just feel a certain energy, and you're like, okay, time to go, fight or flight type thing. Yeah, because like I actually froze on the first line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for a quick second.
Oh okay. Yeah.
You just go, and next thing you know, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was wishing I cherished it more. So I can't even explain to you
what it felt like.
Yeah, I just came out like, man, I should have observed what was going on.
There was I mean, I can only imagine like the nerves first of all. Were you nervous?
Dude,
I would be so nervous. It makes sense that it just kind of passed, because that's the best way to do it, because I feel like if you tried too much to be in it, you might have screwed it up somehow.
But you guys helped though.
Yeah.
You guys were helping me up. I was like, okay.
I don't apologize for making a fool of myself, because I was like, I went all out, and anyone who's seen the videos or heard me screaming over the videos knows what's up. But yeah, it was just so exciting. And you mentioned Swale Tuesdays, which was and we kind of talked about it in the last episode where we spoke, and it was about like your you performing as a DJ and not really as like a rapper or singer or anything.
Yeah.
And that was like in high school, and we put together a bunch of like random shows at a pub back home in Kenya, and you basically like were doing DJ sets there, and we would promote it with our friends, and it was a whole thing. And so that's the last time he performed, and that's like the memory I have of him performing. So that's why I like to see you move from something totally different and then also like totally own like you performing as a rapper was so dope, man. Like,
thank you, man.
Yeah, and it was surreal for me, especially because, again, like I always tell you, you're one of the few people who have like stuck to his own script, and it's like, okay, so the performance you did was a competition, right?
Yeah.
So like there was obviously a winner. Were you the winner?
Nah, I didn't get.
So like yeah, but you see, to me that night for me was like a win for you in my mind, cause like to see you like I said on stage owning the performance, and like you had the rapper hands and everything. I was like, this guy's been practicing, man. Yeah, I was like, you clearly. The thing is like, for me, yeah, sure, it was a competition that you didn't necessarily win, but why I say it's a win is cause, again, from where you came from, and then to see you stick to at least a form of expressing yourself that you've always said you're into, and like really do something about it, and to see you like take charge of it was just dope for me. That's why it's a win for me. Yeah. So like, yeah, man, and then I wanted us to come and have another conversation, just because like, in seeing what I saw on stage, I obviously saw development in my own eyes. Because I mean, like, I know you. So, like, to see you perform, like, it's weird. It looked like you excited in high school. It looked like what you used to look like when you're excited in high school on stage. But it was like a performance, though.
That's the thing. Because I listened to your other podcast, Vancouver, and you were saying, like, you remembered me always, like, performing stuff. And I was thinking, like, when did I perform? But then I was thinking back to high school days.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay.
It makes sense, yeah. So, like, clearly there was, like, intent behind you performing, and, like, the fact that you make music and you put songs out there, there's, like, an intent behind it. And I like, for me, I acknowledge that intent because I've always seen you, like, express interest. And it's just, like, for you, what was the preparation going into it? Like, what were you thinking? How did you even come across the competition? Like,
I came across, it was Instagram usually just sponsors like shoes.
Yeah,
just so they were just sponsoring there. And I was like, okay, that would be cool to sign up for it. And that was a year and a half ago. So it was just at that time I didn't have any of the songs that I performed.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, so
actually two of those songs I never heard before, I think. I feel like
all, apart from the last song, all the songs were new. Yeah. So I just signed up and I forgot about it. Because I was like, oh, these guys they didn't get back to me.
After a whole year, it's like
I'm like, nothing's happening. But then maybe 2 or 3 months before the competition, they were like, yeah, we listen to your music, we approve it, and we'd like you to perform. Yeah, that's when I was like, okay, it got real.
It got too real.
Yeah, it got real. I was like, I have to go on stage, perform, and at the same time, even before getting to that spot, like trying to get people to come for the show. Yeah, so it was a test to see if I could promote myself as well. Yeah, and
what did you learn about that process? Because, like, I know promotion and stuff is probably something that I have a feeling you're not, like, really into, right?
No.
So, like, how was it for you stepping into that zone for yourself? Did you learn much, or?
Yeah, I learned that you can't just you can't just use the tactics that you see other people doing. You have to try and connect with even if it's just maybe 10 or 20 people. You just have to try and connect with those people and then build from there with them.
And you know, like, I'll be honest, like, when I saw you post the thing, I was like, yo, like, that's it? Like, because I was like, in my head, you have to understand. Also, like, I'm, like, the extra excited friend. So, like, for me, I'm going to always hype everything up. So, it's like, but when I saw you post it, I'm like, this dude just posted his performing like it was a picture of his dinner. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, dude, this is like crazy. And that's why, like, I went to the Kenyan WhatsApp. I sent out the bat signal. I was like, yo, we all need to be there. But, like, because, like, and the thing is, again, because I know you and I know, like, that whole process. So, is that something... Do you have a strategy of getting over that, or is that like, do you have someone who's gonna help you that now, or like?
No, I'm starting to realize like I need to work on all the aspects. I need to get them down. Before I think I just have someone to do it, and it comes back to the mixes for the show. So I had like maybe for a month, I was assuming these mixes are done. Like my engineers are just gonna come and send the thing, but after...
What do you mean by the mixes are...
the concert mixes that I was going to perform there.
Yeah.
Because I had like a whole thing planned out where I'd remove the vocals in certain areas.
Oh.
I didn't want to just...
Yeah, just not lip sync the whole way, right?
Yeah, the typical just shouting over yourself thing. I wanted to like challenge myself.
That's a good idea.
And have a concert feel.
Yeah.
So those mixes, there were like 4 songs that I performed. Only one of them made it through from my engineers. Oh. So I had to... So that it was maybe like 2 weeks before I found out these guys are not going to send them. They haven't finished. So I had to do my own mixes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then it got... So from that experience, I'm starting to learn, I need to...
Tighten up.
Yeah, every single... Not just, I'm just going to write.
Yeah.
I need to start doing the promotion aspect.
Yeah.
I need to start... just getting myself out there some more.
For sure. Yeah, no, I mean, like, and that's another reason I called you back, because, like, I feel like it makes sense, though, because even just our personalities, even me, myself, I've had struggles, like, pushing my podcasts and telling people to listen. It's, like, it's such a weird feeling for me. And, like, I recognize that thing, and so I was like, let me try and help and have you back so that we can talk about that moment, because I feel like if we let it go the way we would let it go naturally, we would just like kind of walk over it like it was just, oh yeah, you performed, okay. But like, it's a big deal that you just performed for your first time. You know what I'm saying? I have no questions. I'm just kind of like going off the cuff just because. But yeah, back to preparation. So like, you had to prepare your mixes. What other preparation did you do before performing?
Prepare the mixes. Get that outfit right.
Yeah, the swag. Right. Yeah.
Apart from that, I think...
What about performing-wise?
Performing-wise, I think like that part of the... I wasn't worried about it as much. Because I've always had this idea that once you get on the stage... You'll find out.
Oh yeah.
So that's why like when I froze, like, I froze on the first line.
Oh okay.
And then I was like, oh okay, so yeah, this is not for you. And then it just came back. Yeah. So that side of, I didn't prepare as much, but I did watch a few videos. Like I watched a few of my favorite artists.
Of course,
like, do their thing, and I was like, okay, so these guys do that. These guys.
Who are some people you watched, if you don't mind sharing?
I watched all Michael Jackson videos.
Oh, okay. I didn't see none of that, man.
All Michael Jackson videos.
You didn't bust one move, dude. I'm disappointed now. I wanted to
try the kick and everything, but I'm like, nah, I don't think it's gonna work out. But yeah, Michael Jackson, The Weeknd. I watched Drake just running around stage crazy.
Yeah. I've heard people say a lot of good things about Drake's performance, like over the years. Like he's become super solid as a performer these days. Yeah.
I think out of those, I watched Kendrick. I watched J. Cole.
Why did you watch like MJ, for example? What was?
Because I've seen this video and I feel like everyone should see this video. Yeah. Like it's his concert, and he's like, it's like a comeback. So everyone's there like all just excited, and he comes in. As usual, MJ, but no, without the hat, without the gloves, and he just walks on the stage and there's like sound effects.
Just before he even, I think I've seen this.
And he opens up the briefcase and then removes a glove.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, like every step of the way. Yeah, it's crazy.
And then he puts the thing on, and then there's this one part that made me feel like I should watch more MJ videos. he's like stands MJ style and the light goes on and the whole like guys are just going crazy, man.
Yeah.
And after I saw that, I was like, okay, this is what a performer does.
No, that's because like I watch a lot of performances online. I don't go to concerts much, but I watch a lot of performances online, and it's like the people who are able to make everything a thing. It's like so priceless when you get that thing where it's like everything you do is just like drives everyone insane, and there's an actual art to that shit.
No words, no music, and everyone was just already like half the guys there would be like, yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah, they're done. Yeah. They're done. The women who fainted got their money's worth. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's dope.
But yeah, MJ's. I don't know. Like, I feel like the more I've been talking to people, like guys don't listen to Michael Jackson as much. Like,
who are you asking?
Okay, I'm asking like people who are like maybe 3 years younger, 2 years
younger. You know, it's so weird. Like, I've realized that people who are 2 to 3 years younger than us, there's a world of difference music-wise. Like, we're so close in age that it doesn't make sense, but I think it's actually a thing.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I mean, we've talked about hanging around people 2 to 3 years younger than us, and it's like, I was telling my brother the other day, like, sometimes you know KRS-One, right, the rapper.
Yeah.
You know how he's super intellectual about hip hop and everything.
Yeah.
Talking to 23-year-olds and 22-year-olds about like Rick Ross, T.I., they make me feel like I'm KRS-One trying to teach them about hip hop, because it's like they make it sound like those guys are from the 80s. Like T.I. is a grandfather, and it's just like Lil Pump or nothing. It's like so. Like, yeah, there's a big difference.
It's just that gap.
Yeah, it's weird.
And for me, I feel like, because MJ was, like, he was the guy. Like, if ever there was, like, that term just fits perfectly for him. He was the guy. Yeah. So I just assumed.
Yeah, this is it.
Bumping him. But nah.
Dude, when I was a kid in my bedroom, I'm sure my mom can co-sign this, I would always be singing like Young MJ in my room. Whenever I would be fucking around my room, I would always be screaming Young MJ.
You have to name my favorite song.
Got to Be There. That's the one that would always Yeah, that was terrible. Wow. I need my phone. Let me just get my phone. That's definitely being edited out. Let's just play it real quick. Hey, that was horrible.
What was that jam? I Want to Rock With You.
This one.
Wait, you know what's crazy? I don't even think... I honestly don't know this one, man.
You know this song?
Nah.
Oh shit, this is the one I used to scream the loudest.
These are Easter eggs. This is what I'm talking about, like with MJ.
These kids don't know.
They don't know he has classics.
What you know about MJ?
Classics on classics.
No, but it's like, and the thing is, again, this is why I thought it was important for us to talk about it. Like, you just posted a random ass Instagram picture, but you were busy studying MJ. It doesn't make sense. Like, dude, it's clear that you're very intentional about what you're doing, and like you're really studying what it is you're doing, which is why I was like, yo, like, can we talk about this? But like, so
the promotion aspect.
Yeah, I mean, no, just like, but just learning what brought you. First of all, what gave you the confidence to be like, yeah, I'm ready to perform my music. That's another thing I wanted to ask, because I feel like for the longest, together with that thing of hiding our art to ourselves, I feel like that's another challenge that you had. And so for me to see you be like, oh, I'm performing, I was like, oh, that's a signal, like, oh, Lucid is like ready to, you know, like be like, yo, what's up? So I was like, oh, that's different, because I've never seen you be on that type of like time, you know what I mean? But yeah, what gave you the confidence to, what made you sign up that day and be like, yeah, I'm gonna be ready to perform?
It was that thing for, like, I'm pretty sure I was in my room, it's at night, just Instagram, double tapping things. And it was, like, I saw the poster, and I'm like, yo, dude, okay, I've never performed, but there's never a perfect time. And at the same time, I think like I applied feeling like, oh, it's not gonna happen because it felt so official.
Yeah.
So just like, let me just apply whatever.
It
most likely won't happen. So I can't tell you those are moments where I just
it wasn't real to you. Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
Like even on the day, like when I woke up, everything was. When I found out about the thing, everything was chill. I was like, hey, I'm gonna perform. 21st, it's coming.
Did this give you an extra? Sorry to cut you off. Did it give you an extra push to do another performance?
Dude, I want to do another one so badly.
Yeah.
Like just that. I can't explain that feeling, but I want to do one so badly. And even when I got back home, I couldn't sleep for like 2
I
hours.
bet the adrenaline must have been crazy.
I just want to do another one. I'm trying to find a way to do more shows.
Got to, man.
Yeah. But on the day when I woke up, oh dude, my stomach was just I don't know what's happening, but it felt just empty, man. Even after eating, I was like, oh dude, am I gonna be able to do this?
Yeah.
And then as the hours got closer, it's like I felt like, okay, you can do this, just chill, calm down. You've sent your mix out, like it sounds good. You've watched the preparation videos, and now you just have to go perform. Yeah. And then when I got there and saw the stage, I felt like I could do it. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this is.
Man, you did that thing, man. Like, I was super impressed, and I was like, oh shit, he's serious. I was like, oh, this guy is really serious. Because I was like, until the day I see you on stage was when I feel like subconsciously, I was like, until I saw you on stage is when it would be super real to me. Yeah. And then I saw you own it on top of that. And I was like, oh shit, he's really serious about this thing. It's crazy. But like, damn, man.
But I can answer the question you're asking, like, how can I post... Like, I can just post, like, the random picture.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm busy just trying to understand how Michael Jackson performed. It's something that I naturally focus on the art aspect of it than anything else. Just a creative aspect as well. My mind is at. Yeah. So everything else, in a perfect world, everything else would fall second. And you just have to, like, be creative, create, and put it out there. And then things would just happen. But that's not how it works.
No, I mean, I feel like it's a lesson I've also learned in small ways, and it's just like, I think until you make it is when you have people to take over certain things. True. But I think we're in that stage where it's like I was telling Lucid before we started how I was setting up the video and everything all by myself, and it's like we're at that stage where it has to be all us, and it's kind of like we're in the stage where also you have to not make people, but people still don't see the vision. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about this earlier because I'll be honest, sometimes I get frustrated when if I have close friends, for example, who say they support the podcast and everything, and like it's evident they don't listen. Like, you can tell. Yeah, like you have the numbers and you have the DMs and you're comparing, you're like, okay. But like when you have those moments, like I'll be super transparent. It's like, I don't have hard feelings. Like I don't expect all my friends to champion everything I do. But it's like, when you have those moments and then your ego kicks in, it's like, yo, why aren't they? But it's like, nah. It's because you believe in what you're doing right now. You're currently the only one who believes in what you're seeing right now. It's like you're the only one who sees how it should go and everything. And where it could go. And where it could, exactly. And like all the work that's gone into where it is right now. Exactly. So it's like that thing of accepting like, yo, this is like where, okay, we've started the journey and like now it's going to have to, like we're going to be the main source of fuel for a while. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah. What do you think about that? Like, did you want your friends to know you're performing, or you're just kind of like hoping no one sees? Or you don't know, you just...
In all honesty, I put it out just there. Put it out. Yeah, in my mind, I was like, if they come, that'd be... No, until you guys came, I didn't realize how important like it was for you guys to be there. Like, in my mind, I was like,
they could come or not. Yeah.
But until you guys were there and I'm like feeding off of the energy I'm like, oh, okay, I understand. I understand why you need a support system. And at the same time, it was it was interesting to find out that you have a support system.
Yeah.
Like I didn't. Sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
Like when I get everyone's there.
Yeah.
Like they just came on a Sunday to see you perform.
Facts, man. Yeah. Like, I mean, and then I'll also share the other side where it's like I get messages too from people who actually do listen to like my podcast and different things, and it's like until you realize that you're like, oh shit. Because, like, for the longest time, you do something like this, you're like, why am I doing this in the first place? Like, it's like, why am I posting it if, like, do I expect people to listen or not? But then people listen, give you encouragement, and that's, like, in a weird way, it gives you something else to step on. Like, you know what I mean?
In building blocks.
Yeah. And in a weird way, it's like we have to create those moments for ourselves. I feel like that's what I mean when I say fueling it, like, our own fuel. You know what I mean? Like, I just think, like, all of us just have to champion our own things, and if we can help each other, it's like...
We're going to be better.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but you're right about, you have to believe it. You have to believe in yourself first, and then you watch everyone, like,
they'll
understand your vision.
Yeah. But again, man, like, the thing is, again, because I know you, I see your vision. I don't know, I'm not going to say all that. I don't see your vision, but I feel like I understand the direction of your vision, because like only you know your vision 100%. But like, because again, knowing you from high school and seeing the things you do, and then seeing you do them on a slightly higher level and like in a more advanced way, it's like, you know, just that seeing that intention is like, again, it's inspiring, and it's like, alright, it's time to work, man. I'm not the only one out here trying to do something, you know. It's like, it's just cool to watch, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's encouraging as hell to see you do that. Which is why, again, it was a win for me in that sense.
It was, even for me, it was a win that, like, to just be on that stage and perform. Because, according to that morning, I didn't think it was going to happen. So the fact that I was able to do it, sing, perform, and then now all I have to do now is critique, like, that show from the videos
you didn't get, like, actual, like, good footage of that?
No, I didn't get footage, just the photos.
Yeah.
But, like, I've been watching the videos you guys sent, and then you just have to watch and be like, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Like, there's that one dude who was feeling calmer.
Oh, yeah.
Some random dude in the video, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Karma has that thing. Karma is a song that Lucid has. It's on Soundcloud. Yeah. Go check it out. Hot single out here. No, but like, and it's funny because the night before your show, Mawende was at my place, and I was like, yo, dude, I'm really trying to learn the words to this song.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't know that's the one you'd pick, but that's the one I'd been going back to. I'd been listening to the 3 that you have on your SoundCloud. And I didn't, obviously, because you performed 2 new ones that I didn't know on that night. So the only one I knew was Karma, and it happened to be the one you closed with. Yeah. So I was like, oh, shit. But it has again, there's like, I look at intention, and it's like you can hear the intention behind that song. Like, take us through the process of how you came about that song.
Karma, how did I come about Karma? Karma was, I made it... See, that's the problem. Like, I have just today morning to go on another tangent. I was going through some of the, like, my old songs, and I have like a library of songs that I just haven't released. So I can't give you the time frame.
Okay.
But I remember I was listening to that time. I was listening to a lot of that dude with blonde hair. I listened to a lot of Jaden Smith.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, yo, how did he get that sample? And then I usually just go super nerdy and then try and find the producer. Like, I sidestep the artist, find the producer, find the songwriters. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try and make something with a Middle Eastern sample.
Okay.
Working behind it. And then once I had the beats, now the writing for it, it's something that Eddie, my producer, has been telling me. He's like, you shouldn't think of yourself as just a rapper, or even when you do a song, you shouldn't think of yourself as an R&B singer. Like, from the stuff that I've seen you write and the stuff we've been listening to, like, you're an artist, so you should, like, that's the vision you have.
Yeah.
And then I came up with that line, the sword sold my soul
to my clothes. Yeah, this fabric is that shit. Because dude, like you know, like take everything I say with a grain of salt, because again, I'm the super excited friend, so I put extra sauce on everything. But it's like, dude, that line is crazy. Like my other podcast, Dear Vancouver podcast that I do, I named one of my recent episodes "This Fabric is Authentic" because it's like, you can like that was a crazy line, you know what I mean? Like just say the line again for the people.
Sold my soul to my clothes, this fabric is authentic. I should be looking there.
So, I'm still trying to yeah. No, for real, no, that was you guys just need to hear the song to understand what I'm saying. But again, you're saying, so you take us to, you were saying the lyrics you came up with, sold my soul to the, and then
sold my soul to my clothes. I say clothes.
Yeah, why?
I got it from the movie with our Kenyan actress.
Yeah. It's Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita Nyong'o's Disney movie with the other dude.
Queen of Katwe.
Queen of Katwe.
Yeah.
And they were saying
clothes. Yeah, in that movie.
I was like, yo, that is
what
so fire.
I also found that really weird. What is that about?
I don't think we've ever said clothes.
I've never said clothes, man. I'm East Africa.
Never said clothes.
Yeah.
But I just found it so like I liked it. I just liked the sound of it.
Okay.
I was like, yo, okay, Ugandans might be on something here. And then I just used it as a way to rhyme. Sold my soul to my clothes.
Yeah,
this fabric is like I just used
Tantag. Okay.
Used the way to rhyme it.
Yeah.
And
so like you've clearly been putting effort into being a better writer and artist and stuff.
Yeah.
Is this something you work on every day? Like, are you constantly writing? How do you write? Like, what inspires you to write? How do you start? Like, when you say today I'm gonna do a song, how do you even begin getting inspired to write or anything?
Because usually I work on my music on Fridays, a little bit on Saturday, and a little bit on Sunday. So I usually just, first thing that I start with, if I have, because we're talking about the writing process, so I have the beat already that I made. And then from there, I'll try and get the feeling from the beat. And I usually have a bunch of books that I've just written stuff on. Sometimes one-liners, like paragraphs, stories, and then I'll leaf through. If the beat doesn't give me a feeling, I'll just leaf through those sometimes. Okay. And then find the best line and then work from that.
Okay.
But sometimes if I get the feeling, those are the best, because it just like it feels like
freestyling it, or
almost.
Okay.
It feels like you just divined it, like because you have one line.
Yeah.
And then more just comes.
Oh, it just falls.
It just keeps coming. Keeps coming, and you're like, this fits.
Yeah.
Until you get stuck on the last 4 bars.
And you can't finish it.
And you can't finish the song.
Yeah, I hate that. I used to feel that way with like essays and stuff when I was writing a lot. Where are you trying to go with your music? Because I feel like, having had this conversation about your performance and your writing and like the intention behind all this stuff, there's somewhere you're trying to go. You might not exactly know where, but like, what is the what are you trying to accomplish right now with your music? Am I asking too deep of a question? Is it not? Is it just like, am I being too deep about it?
Nah, I think I usually don't. I don't usually think of it that way. Apart from, like, I remember giving the answer. Like, I want people to. I want to be able to touch people with my music.
The music, yeah.
Yeah, but for me personally, because I feel like that's for everybody else. For me, it's just, I'm not sure what it does to me, but it's a journey. But it makes me, all I know is that if I don't write, I just don't feel.
Don't feel good.
I don't feel right.
Bars. Bars. Well, yeah, no, but I feel like that's important to hear though, because like, it sounds really mundane, like, I don't feel nice when I do it, but it's like, that's a real thing I hear people saying. I feel like a lot of people don't take that feeling seriously. So like, that's why for me, I always dig when people have things that they do. I'm like, I know there's like I know I get there's like an outward thing, but I know there's like an internal thing where it's like, unless you accomplish something in that direction where you go, like you physically don't feel okay.
It's like I feel like I have to do it. Like there was a time I did an experiment. I was like, how long can I go without doing anything?
Yeah.
And it was about 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, I was a dick to my roommates.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
I was just an ass.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I need to...
Yeah.
It's an outlet for me. I need to do it.
Yeah. That's really cool. And, like, it's interesting that I feel like it's always important to talk about it from that direction where it's like, if I didn't do this, I wouldn't be okay, rather than I'm doing this so that you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people never look at it that way, or it's never, at least for me growing up, it's never been taught to me that way, where it's like people do art because they're trying to get rid of that weird feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no one ever talks about the weird feeling. They just talk about like, oh, he painted. And like, you know what I mean? It's like that's where it ends. Like, but there's a reason why the guy painted in the first place, you know? So
it's like there's this idea that everyone has like a void. Some people have a void, and some people can feel it more than others. And you try to fill it with
different things.
Yeah, material things, women, money.
Yeah.
And like with me, those things help.
They do.
Those things do help.
Shout out to the women and the drugs.
Those things help. Even something as like a childlike as playing video games.
Yeah.
Like it helps fill the void.
Yeah.
But the only time I can say that I've capped the void, like I've just filled it
completely,
is when I've written a song, or even when I'm struggling to write a song. Because sometimes I'll be struggling to write a song, and then I'm like, why am I not getting this thing? Yeah. But I'm like smiling while doing it.
It's weird. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard, but it's like, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get it 100%, man. That's dope, man. I mean, however we can support you get your next performance, like, I'm excited to see you perform again for sure, man. Like, it was impressive, and like, good job, man. Like,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, for real. Any last words? Any new music coming out? Anything
to look out
for?
There's already new music out. A track called Bobby. It's on Soundcloud at Oak Tree, and I have a new one that I'm gonna be releasing called Sail Away, and then I have another one called Find a Way that I'm gonna be putting out really soon.
Nice.
And one called Ambassador that I'm working on currently.
Nice. Yeah. And tell them exactly where. Like, on SoundCloud you are?
SoundCloud at Oak Tree, OHK Tree.
Nice. And Instagram?
Instagram at Lucid, LU_.
If you'd like to be a guest on the Represented Podcast, feel free to hit up at Represented Podcast on Instagram or email us at representedpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and for more Geek Happy Network shows like the Monster Slayer's Guide to Slaying Monsters, or partner shows like the Jay and Tay Show and Book and Bitch, come give us a listen at geekhappynetwork.com or look for us on your favorite podcast app. And be sure to follow us on Facebook or Instagram at Geek Happy Network. This show is hosted and created by myself, Nyx, editing by Robert Muthama, and myself, video editing by Russ Rara, and intro music by Mick Narciso.